A lot of advice online tries to reduce attraction to tricks or shortcuts, and that's where confusion usually starts. Real connection doesn't work like a cheat code. It's quieter, more human, and much more about awareness than control. When people talk about touch as a signal, what they're really talking about is trust being built in small, almost invisible steps. For many women, physical closeness is not just about the skin. It's tied to safety, comfort, and emotional meaning. The nervous system is constantly asking one simple question: am I okay here? That question is answered long before words get involved. Tone of voice, pacing, respect for boundaries, and emotional presence all come together before any touch feels welcome. When a woman allows physical contact, it doesn't mean ownership, conquest, or a guaranteed outcome. It means in that moment her body does not feel threatened. That's important, especially for younger people to understand. Attraction grows in environments where someone feels seen and respected, not pressured or analyzed like a puzzle to solve. Touch communicates intention very quickly. The brain processes it in milliseconds, deciding whether it feels calm or tense, safe or invasive. Studies on human touch show that emotions like comfort, warmth, and care can be sensed through simple contact more often than people realize. Women, on average, tend to be especially sensitive to this because their nervous systems are often more attuned to emotional context. This is why two people can touch the same way and create completely different reactions. One interaction feels neutral, while another feels meaningful. The difference isn't the body part, it's the emotional message behind the action. Confidence that is calm feels different from confidence that is demanding. Interest that is patient feels different from interest that is rushed. Early, socially acceptable areas like arms or shoulders usually signal basic comfort. This is not romance yet, it's more like a green light that says, "You're okay to be around." Many people misread this stage and jump ahead emotionally, which can create discomfort. Moving slowly isn't a weakness here. It's emotional intelligence. As connection deepens, hands often become more significant. Hands are expressive, vulnerable, and personal. Allowing hand contact can suggest growing trust, especially if it's relaxed and mutual. What matters most is how natural it feels. If there's tension, pulling away, or hesitation, that's information worth respecting, not pushing through. Throughout all of this, it's important to remember that attraction is not something you take from someone. It's something that develops when both people feel safe, curious, and emotionally open. Touch is simply one part of that conversation, not a test to pass or a level to unlock. This understanding shifts the goal. Instead of trying to figure out what touch means, the focus becomes how to show up as someone who is attentive, respectful, and emotionally steady. When that foundation is there, physical closeness tends to unfold on its own, without force or confusion. If this perspective feels different from what you've heard before, that's a good sign. It means you're starting to see attraction not as a trick, but as a shared human experience built on trust. As trust grows, the body becomes more expressive than words. This doesn't happen all at once, and it doesn't follow a rigid formula. It unfolds as comfort deepens. Areas closer to the center of the body, like the waist or lower back, often require a stronger sense of emotional safety. These are places we can't easily see or protect, so allowing touch there is less about attraction alone and more about feeling secure with someone's presence. When a woman feels comfortable with this kind of closeness, her body language usually softens. Muscles relax instead of tightening. Breathing becomes slower. She may lean in rather than pull away. These are involuntary signals controlled by the nervous system, not conscious decisions. They indicate that her body feels regulated rather than alert. The neck and face tend to carry even deeper meaning. Biologically, the neck is a vulnerable area, closely tied to survival instincts. Touch there is processed very carefully by the brain. If it feels welcome, it often means the person is perceived as emotionally safe and respectful. The face is equally personal. It represents identity, emotion, and self-expression. Allowing someone into that space suggests openness and trust, not submission. What's often misunderstood is that these reactions are not switches being flipped. They're feedback signals. The body is constantly responding, adjusting, and reassessing. This is why paying attention matters more than making assumptions. If someone pauses, stiffens, or redirects, that's communication just as real as words. One important health-related point is stress. When someone feels pressured, even subtly, stress hormones increase. This shuts down attraction and comfort. When someone feels at ease, the body releases calming chemicals that support bonding and relaxation. Respectful pacing directly affects how the body responds. This is also where emotional presence becomes essential. Being mentally checked in, listening, and responding thoughtfully creates the conditions for closeness. Physical touch without emotional awareness often feels empty or uncomfortable. Emotional attunement, on the other hand, makes even simple gestures feel meaningful. There is no guarantee zone on the body. There is only a growing sense of safety. The healthiest relationships develop when both people feel free to express interest and free to set limits. When those limits are honored, trust strengthens naturally. Understanding this can remove a lot of anxiety. Instead of wondering what each action means, the focus shifts to creating a calm, respectful connection. When that happens, the body often communicates comfort in subtle but clear ways. There is one area people often talk about with a sense of mystery, but it's important to approach it with clarity and responsibility. Hair carries strong emotional meaning for many women. It's closely tied to identity, self-image, and emotional regulation. People often touch their own hair when they're nervous, thinking, calming themselves, or feeling connected. Because of that, allowing someone else to touch it can feel deeply personal. When this kind of touch is welcome, the reaction usually isn't dramatic. It's subtle. A slight softening of the posture, a relaxed exhale, a gentle smile that happens without effort. These are signs of comfort, not surrender. The nervous system is responding to a sense of safety, not giving up control. That distinction matters. From a health and emotional well-being perspective, what's happening here is regulation. When someone feels emotionally safe, the body shifts out of a stress response. Heart rate steadies, muscles loosen, and the brain becomes more open to connection. This is not about dominance or power. It's about trust being reinforced. It's also crucial to understand that this kind of closeness only feels positive when it emerges naturally. If it's rushed, forced, or used as a test, it can immediately trigger discomfort. The same action can feel comforting in one context and invasive in another. Context, timing, and mutual interest make all the difference. Healthy attraction is never about decoding someone's body like a secret map. It's about staying present, observing responses, and respecting boundaries without resentment. When someone feels free to say yes and equally free to say no, trust grows. That trust is what allows closeness to feel good rather than confusing. For anyone listening to this and wondering what to do with this information, the answer is simple. Focus less on where touch happens and more on how you make someone feel emotionally. Calm, respectful confidence creates safety. Curiosity without pressure creates connection. Patience allows attraction to develop at its own pace. When two people feel emotionally secure, physical closeness stops feeling like a risk and starts feeling like a shared experience. That's the foundation of healthy relationships, whether they're romantic, emotional, or still unfolding. The most reassuring truth is this: you don't need to analyze every signal. If someone feels comfortable with you, their body language will be relaxed and open. If they don't, slowing down and giving space is always the right move. Respect is never the wrong choice, and genuine connection can't be rushed. That mindset not only leads to better relationships, it also supports emotional health for everyone involved.